Hello girls, welcome to the first video which can help you with working on your Canterbury Tales paper, draft, or revisions. What this small video is going to discuss is in-text citations, meaning these items right here along the way. So I want to show you a few mistakes and a few things done well so that you can judge the way you're doing your paper and whether or not you're doing the right thing. So looking at the top of this paper, if you notice, we discussed about in our lecture on the Canterbury Tales paper that if you are using your author's name that you're citing inside the sentence, like right here, Chaucer introduces the fourth pilgrim and so on. When you get to the in-text citation right here, you do not need Chaucer's name anymore. You mentioned it inside the sentence. Therefore, you just need to follow up in the in-text citation with the page number or the paragraph number. We know our Chaucer book has page numbers. It is not a web source. Then we also mentioned that if you then continue throughout the paragraph or the paper to use the same exact source and not switch sources, you can forego using the author still and just write numbers. For example, we're using Chaucer page 6 here, then we're still citing something here, and it is just page number 7, which means when I look at that, I know, okay, going back a step, I'm still using Chaucer. And then here, if we follow through, the student is still using Chaucer as her source. All right, even if it goes into a different paragraph. Now, in this case, if we're looking at the next in-text citation, we come up to a new author. So, in this particular case, if you're looking at this closely, she wrote Hull 34. That tells us a few things. Number one, the author of this source that she's using is Hull, and she does not mention his name or introduce him in the sentence. Therefore, unlike Chaucer up above, she has to put the author's name inside the in-text citation. Now, in this case, we have Hull 34, meaning that on page 34 in her source with the author Hull, that's where she found this information. Okay, moving forward, we go to the next citation. Now, again, we have a brand new author's name, which means she is no longer using Hull. She has flipped to a new source to cite here in her paraphrase, sort of end quote. She's using Rossignol. Now, if you look, Rossignol is P-A-R period and a number. This shows us right here that she is using a web source. So somewhere on her Works Cited page where we find Rossignol, it will be a web source with an access date. Okay, very good. Going on to the next one. If you notice here, our student who did this paper did write Rossignol paragraph 2. But as you know, and as you're learning in this little video, that the Rossignol here is not necessary because we've just stated it here above. And if we're using the same, just like we did here, up here with the Chaucer ones, we only need to bring down the paragraph number, whichever paragraph she is using. So if we restate, okay, up here, we're using Chaucer all the way. We said Chaucer inside the sentence, therefore we don't need Chaucer. And then we continued using Chaucer 2 more times, here and here. We don't need the name Chaucer. Once we move down to here, we have a new author with a page number, similarly a new author and a paragraph number being a web source, and then similar source here. Hopefully that helps. Please feel free to watch this video 1 time, 5 times, 10 times to make sure you are getting this correctly in your paper. Thank you.